try not to shake it.
Okay.
Hi guys. Wait, hold on. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tay, if you don't know who I am. In today's video, as you can tell by the title, I will be showing you how I transform my grown out blondes into bright, cool-toned, icy blondes. So, if you're interested in how I go through that whole process and each step that I take, just keep watching. So for my lightener today, I will be using the Oxycur by Goldwell. This stuff is my favorite lightener. It's gentle on the hair, but it ensures an even lift. So we're going to go ahead and mix that guy with a 10 volume. My rule of thumb is typically to go lower and slower when it comes to lightener, just so you're not going in with a high developer and then blowing out the hair cuticle. So we're gonna mix it up, and I'll show you the consistency. You guys can't see it over here, but I will show you what I like to mix it to. Now, because Caitlin is our ideal client, like this is a literal perfect client as far as her hair color goes and what we're starting with. There's no artificial color on her hair. Her natural hair color is pretty light. But because her hair is lighter and a little bit more of like a fine texture, I'm going to be using Olaplex as well. With mixing this Olaplex in there, it's actually going to dilute the formulation to a volume 5 instead of a volume 10. And that's just going to protect her hair's integrity and keep it healthy and happy as she, lives the blonde life. So as you can see, it's not too thick, but it's not too runny either. It's like the perfect cake batter consistency. Going in, I like to follow my client's natural hairline. So as you can tell, I'm doing a section that's diagonal on the sides, and then I start to brick lay it. So I'll go in the center and then continue to do the sides and then move my way up. And then once, that section is clearly too big, I will section it off into 2 parts. So with that, I just feel like it's way easier to follow their natural hairline than to just force a weird sectioning like the traditional, 2 separate sections in the back. That's just the way I like to do it. So I'm sure there are 2 things that you're noticing. One is the fact that I'm tucking my foil even further to secure it more. I really, really enjoy doing this. Although I don't think it's a necessity if your lightener is a lot thicker or, if you're not worried about it slipping. The foils I use, I feel like stay really, really secure and they don't slip. So unless you're using a very thin lightener, I wouldn't worry about it. And then the second thing is I am using a rat tail comb rather than a weaving comb. So I've had a lot of people be like, why do you do that? Honestly, I just like the feel of it more. As a stylist, you start to learn like what works for you and what doesn't. And for me, using a weaving comb actually ensures that I'm taking smaller pieces. It's kind of a reminder for me to get really, really close to the root. And yeah, anyways, it's what I enjoy using when I foil, and sometimes I will go in with a weaving comb, but for this instance and with doing baby lights, I like to do a rat tail comb. her front section. I'm going to be mixing it 20 volume now, and I will be mixing it with the Olaplex, which then makes it 10 volume. I think I have bleach in my, okay, we're good. I could like see it in my peripheral. I'm like, do I have lightener in my hair? Anyways, the reason why I like to do this is because now that we're on the front, obviously the back is going to be processing, cooking, doing its thing. So it'll just kind of speed up nicely and evenly with the back. And yeah, that's all I like to do. So I just want to show you guys that. Okay, so I want to explain the way I do my money pieces. Depending on what the client wants, I will go in and do 2 back-to-back slices, and against that, I'll do a baby light. Usually, people will say that, and others will kind of have a different idea of like their own baby light or their own slice and the thickness size of the parting. So I hope that makes sense. But basically, I want to show you guys what my slice is and what my baby light is. That way, you guys can understand, you know, how I get a money piece. So I'll go in, and as you guys can tell, it's tiny, tiny sections. Like your partings are so, so thin. I like doing this because you can get as close to the root as possible. Obviously, if you're doing thicker sections, it will look a little bit more grown out, and it won't lift as evenly or light. So that's just something to take into consideration. And then I will do a baby light, and then I'll just continue baby lighting. So if I want an all over blondie, I will just go a little bit harder, and I'll do way more foils of baby lights. But either way, that's the way I like to do my money pieces. Going on to the sides, I will go at a diagonal. The reason why I like to do this is because it lays way more naturally than if you were to just go straight across. And again, follow your client's hairline, because ultimately that's what you need to kind of listen to and follow. Otherwise, it's not going to lay correctly and it's going to look a little weird.
I'm on my own, broken alone. I feel the rain crashing down all around this empty town. We're searching for the lost and found, but you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air like a blazing flare. Don't stare, 'cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. I used to kiss your head when you cried for me. Hold your hand while the pain was over. Keep you warm by the roaring sea. You meant the world to me. thought you were the one for me. That's why I give you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know.
Okay, so we are done foiling her. I am right away going to rinse out the back because it took us quite a while to foil the whole head. The reason why I like to do it in sections is because it's going to ensure that the hair is going to be okay, and you know, you're foiling in different timing. So like the first section you do obviously has had the lightener on the longest, and even though it is a lower volume, I just like to rinse them out in sections. So this is what I like to do, and then once we take all these out, I will rinse it and put in Olaplex number 2, and then we will check on all the other foils, the last foils that we did, and then if they're ready, we'll rinse her whole head. So I will get back to you guys when we rinse out her whole entire head and get to toning and smudging and all the things. Because she wants to be, you know, bright as possible, but we want to diminish that foil line that we just put in, I am going to mix up 10N from Shades EQ and 7N. I know that's kind of weird, but we're going to kind of mix it together. And then I'm also going to be putting in 7NA. The 7NA will help diminish any brassiness because she likes to pull a little bit more on the gold side, so this is going to counteract that. 0.5 ounces of the 10N, and then we're going to also do 5, which will make 1, and then a literal dot 7NA. Equal parts, we're using the gloss to gel solution rather than a liquid solution because it just, I don't know, I like the consistency more when it's thicker. Equal parts, so we're going to do 1.2. Got ourselves a mixture. It'll probably equal out to like an 8.5 level, which is fine. For her toner, I will be mixing up 10 BS by Goldwell Colorance. And I am doing 1-to-1 ratio because I want it to be a little bit more pigmented. I want her hair to soak up all that cool tone. So we're gonna do quite a bit. We'll do like an ounce and then go in and do an ounce of the solution as well. So voila, there's our toner. Here's our smudge, ready to go. As I was rinsing Caitlin out, I noticed that the ends were a lot more dingy than what I just lifted. So in this situation, and sometimes all situations with my blondes, because they have, you know, their purple shampoo or their water is hard or whatever it is, I will go in and take the Malibu Blondes treatment and put that on their hair. I leave it on for 15 minutes and then I shampoo and condition it out. And it brightens up those ends to be an even canvas for our toner. So that's what I like to do with all my blondes. For Caitlin's taproot, I like to take an oversized comb to, you know, make my work look a little bit more neat. That way I can make sure that I'm getting everything when I go in and tap at a root. But you guys can tell I'm literally only going over that foil line to diminish any harshness or lines. So after doing Caitlin's hair before, I did notice that her hair is a little bit more resistant and yellow. So the toner cut out a ton of that brassiness, but to just hit it with a double whammy, I went in with some purple shampoo. I used the Unite purple shampoo, and that helped a ton. It just ensures more of that cool toned vibe, and look what we freaking got, you guys. I'm going to stop talking, but I'm just obsessed with her color and how it turned out. I hope you guys learned something,
or enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe to my channel and comment down below for more ideas, and I will see you guys on the next one.